Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video, and for this one, there you go, it is Turbocharge, which was written by Chris Butler and was released by System 3 in 1991. Now before we go any further, I'll point out a couple of things. Firstly, this game was supposed to be released as a cartridge game, and yet for some reason the cartridge version never appeared. That will become very relevant later on. Secondly, this music is okay, but despite the fact that I did not have this game back in the day, because in 1991 all I had was my Amiga, I didn't have Commodore 64, so I've only been playing it for a fairly short while. And yeah, okay, while the music is well put together, I am fucking sick to death of it, because this rivals Midwinter 2 for annoying fucking music constantly playing when all you want to do is play the fucking game. So press fire at the start. Okay, off we go. So it is a multi-loader, and an extremely hefty multi-load at that. So it's loaded up this introduction part. United Nations satellite, blah-de fucking blah, and it's photographing something happening, a disturbance in sector blah-de fucking blah, enhance, and I've pressed fire to start. I want to play the fucking game, okay? There we go. UN military stockpile warning, hostiles in area, and oh look, there's some trucks leaving with a load of fuck knows what, enemy vehicles escaping with UN missile stock, blah fucking blah, and then as they leave there, they blow up the bridge behind them. Alert, UN interception squad, codename just in time, British consul. I didn't even get the chance to read it all. Mind you, I'm not sorry about that. Right, maybe we can now start. No, we can't. It's another fucking cutscene, which is completely static. So, the British Consulate Garage at Jeddah, agents, whatever that fucking word is, and that's as far as I got. So, right, okay, so we see the car, which it looks a bit like a Ferrari F40, but in the game it changes and looks a bit more like a Lamborghini Countach to me. So we got another fucking load of loading. And at last we can play the fucking game. And the game itself plays very much like a sort of amalgamation of Roadblasters and Chase HQ 2. So we're just trundling along here, destroying all these enemy cars. Now each level is split up into 2 stages. I missed that fuel. So the first stage you just have to get to the border line, or the border of the fucking area or whatever that you're in. And the second stage you then have to take out the, I missed that fuel as well, you then have to take out like the main enemy a la Chase HQ 2. The reason I am destroying every car that I encounter is because you get a bonus once you reach the end of each level. Missed that fucking fuel as well. But the bonus repairs your damage and gets you some fuel back. So it's a good idea to destroy as many cars as you encounter. Notice that there was a crossroads there, or whatever you want to call it. Choice of route. That was me ploughing into a fucking mine. Alright, get that fuel. And there's the border post. So I killed 28, so that will reduce my damage, and then reduce, or it fills me up with fuel, and the rest goes towards a score bonus. And we load in a fucking still image. Border smashed, continue pursuit. I suppose it looks okay, but I'd rather be playing the fucking game than have it loading a fucking still image. You can now see why the game should have come out on cartridge, and then when the actual game starts, it just drops you straight into it, so you've got to be sitting here waiting for the game to actually get going. So what I'll do now, because there is a time limit on each level. If you look at the info panel across the bottom, see that 102, 101, whatever, it's your time limit. Below that is your speed. I picked up that fuel. Next to it is your fuel gauge, then there's your damage gauge. Below that is the ammo. You have unlimited regular shots, but you only have 5 missiles you can use. And then next to that is your score. I think I missed that. Right, what I need to do now is use the turbocharge. With that fork in the road there, if you go the wrong way, it sends you to a dead end. I'll use a couple of missiles to try and take out this fucker. Would help if I didn't keep fucking missing them. Fucking hell. So I've used up all my missiles and I don't think I hit him once. And now he's fucked off. My damage is at 46. I can't remember. Okay, his damage is, he's out of it. I can't remember if there actually is a damage meter for the enemy car. So we have more loading to bring up this still image. Villain captured, level complete. And now we're off to level 2. Now this version that I've got here, this cracked version, has a much faster multi-load system than the original game had, and I've made it faster still because I've got True Drive emulation turned off. So on cassette the loading times were ridiculous. On on disc they were ridiculous. On cassette they were utterly fucking unbearable. So there we go, just continuing to try and blow up every fucking thing that comes across. You notice there he's standing out the back there firing at me. As the old armoured cars take quite a few hits. Oh. Let's use the turbo. I mean, with the turbocharge activated, the car certainly goes at a fair old rate. No doubt about that. The way to make sure that you go the right way on the fork in the road there is choose the fork that has cars going along it. So if you take the wrong one, then you end up in a dead end. So the amount of cars I destroyed helped reduce my damage a little bit. Not a lot, it's at 20%, but worse is that my fuel is shit. Right, here we go. It doesn't help that most of the cars around here now need multiple hits, and then they turn around and stop right in front of you. I'm also not so keen on the forks in the road being in tunnels. Now I'm getting this warning because I am almost out of fuel, but there's no fuel arriving. Now I've got to watch out for these jets that are all strafing the road. It doesn't really matter. I think I've gone the wrong way. Yes, I have. So yeah, which means that now, so my fuel is virtually on 0, and yet, well, that's it. Now, because I'm using an emulated version of the disc game, I can use continues, so let's use one. Cut that a bit fine. So let's get the review underway. Graphically it looks okay. I wouldn't say it's phenomenal, but they are pretty good. I mean, the road routine is certainly impressive. You do actually see gradients, and you do see the road actually, you know, the actual road turn a corner. It's not just a case of oh fuck it, I've gone the wrong fucking way again. So yeah, things like that. The road actually does turn, which looks good. I've no idea if I've gone the right way. Looks like I have. Things like these aircraft coming along, strafing off. Yeah, okay, they don't look too bad. In the previous level, when you get the helicopters coming along, and then they will strafe and attack you while you're in the tunnel, that is bollocks, to put it mildly. Oh, I've gone the wrong fucking way again, and I've got the low on fuel warning, which doesn't help when I just fucking drive straight past fuel. I think this is the enemy that I'm trying to take out. So if I was able to actually destroy him, well, before the fuel ran out, I would have been okay, but I didn't. Right, I'm not going to continue this one, because what I'll do now is start another game. And as you can see, it's taken me right back to the actual intro sequence that we got when the game first loaded. Which means we've got to sit through all this fucking intro part again. You can press fire so that the credits go by a bit quicker, but what I want to do is press fire to start the fucking game. But I've got to wait for the scores to scroll by, and there's nothing I can do to speed it up, and then it's fire to start. Okay, great, right, there we go. But no, it now loads up this fucking old bollocks again with the satellite image, and I don't care about this, I just want to play the fucking game. So you've got to sit through all of this bullshit every single time you want to play the game. So right, let's fucking warp it. Right, here we go. Right, so now it will actually start the game with any luck. There we go. So you've got to sit through all of that shit just to start the game again. Now, if the game had been released on cartridge as intended, the wait for loading would have been, well, far shorter, and it still would have been fucking annoying having to sit through all of that fucking intro sequence just because you want to start a game. But, I mean, at least the loading wouldn't have been so bad. But the biggest problem I have with it is not so much the multi-load itself, even though it does go on for a while, but it is the fact that there are all these fucking pauses while you're just trying to start a fucking game. Because of all of these, you know, you've got to watch the fucking credits, and you've got to watch this fucking intro sequence with the satellite images and all that. I don't want to see all of that. I just want to play the fucking game. You know, is that asking too much? So although, you know, graphically, yeah, it's okay. I say I'm not overly enthralled by the graphics, but I have seen far worse. But I mean, the speed that the game runs at is great. And I mean, unlike the Commodore 64 conversion of Outrun, this actually has forks in the road. You know, which is the main feature of Outrun, and yet the Commodore 64 conversion of that didn't have any. So clearly it can be done, just not if you're doing you know, a racing game where said forks in the road are the only feature to set it aside, you know, make it stand out from any other fucking game, racing game. So it has that going for it. It has the speed, and there is some playability there once the game is loaded and once you've finished sitting through the fucking intro sequence. But because the intro sequence goes on for so long, I get so fucking sick of it that in the end I just think, oh, bollocks that fucking thing, and you just turn the game off because you've had enough of it. Ah, nice one. Use the turbocharger to send me straight into a fucking cactus. Right, let's use it again. Oh, fuck. Well, I did get the fuel. I've still got this fucking helicopter coming after us. Couldn't get the fuel because the fucking helicopter was there in the way. Where the fucking hell is the main enemy car? There it is. So he's taken a couple of missiles, and yeah, there we go. So it's him dealt with. But yeah, well, there you go. I've really had enough. Yeah, it's okay to play, but getting it to the point where you can actually play it takes so long. You end up getting sick of the game in next to no time. So it's not one of Chris Butler's finest. I will score it 6.5 out of 10. If those cutscenes were, you know, a case of press fire and you skip them, it would have got something in the region of 8.5 out of 10. But they ruin it that much because it's just such a fucking pain in the arse. The game could have been superb, but it's not. So that is Turbocharge. Rather like Cosmic Causeway, it's a game that I was supposed to do ages ago, but I kept putting it off. Because I just really didn't fancy it because there are too many things about it that annoy me. But I finally got it over and done with. So there we go, Turbocharge for Commodore 64, 6.5 out of 10. That brings this review to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.